Antarctica, the coldest, loneliest, darkest ocean on Earth. With water temperatures hovering near freezing, this is one of the last frontiers that humans can barely reach. For decades, scientists held one firm belief about this ocean. There are no sharks in Antarctica. Sharks patrol tropical coral reefs. They rule temperate waters. They even survive in the frozen Arctic, where Greenland sharks drift beneath the ice. But Antarctica was the exception. Sharks have survived 5 mass extinctions over more than 400 million years. They are the ultimate survivors. Yet even sharks, scientists believed, could not set foot in Antarctica's waters. Then in January 2025, something appeared on a deep-sea camera, 490 meters below the Antarctic surface. Massive, slow, a shadow gliding through total darkness. The researchers froze. That's a shark. Today we tell the story, behind the single piece of footage that overturned decades of scientific certainty. The belief that sharks don't exist in Antarctica wasn't a guess. It was backed by science. Fish that live in Antarctic waters evolved. A remarkable adaptation: antifreeze proteins. A group called notothenoids produce proteins in their blood that prevent ice crystals from forming. This allows them to survive even when the water drops below zero. But sharks are different. Sharks are cartilaginous fish. Their physiology is fundamentally different from bony fish. And the extreme cold of Antarctica was considered a barrier they simply could not cross. On top of that, the Antarctic Ocean has a unique structure. Near the surface, cold, fresh water from melting glaciers sits in layers. Beneath that, bands of water with different temperatures and salinity stack on top of each other. This stratification extends down to about 1,000 meters, and the layers don't mix easily. This complex structure makes it incredibly difficult to even place cameras in the right spots. Research cameras can only operate during the southern hemisphere summer, from December through February, just 3 months. For the remaining 9 months, nobody is watching. The other 75% of the year, no one's looking at all. And so this is why I think we occasionally come across these surprises. Those are the words of Alan Jamieson, founding director of the Minderoo-UWA Deep Sea Research Center. In December 2024, a team from the Minderoo-UWA Deep Sea Research Center, based in Perth, Australia, set out for Antarctica. The center investigates life in the deepest parts of the world's oceans. Its founding director, Alan Jamieson, is a Scottish marine biologist and engineer who has led more than 70 deep-sea expeditions. The team deployed a baited deep-sea camera off the South Shetland Islands. The device sinks to the ocean floor, attracts nearby creatures with bait, and records whatever appears. The camera settled at 490 meters. Water temperature 1.27 degrees Celsius. A world of complete darkness, far beyond the reach of sunlight. In January 2025, researcher Heather Stewart was reviewing the footage when she spotted something in the frame. A massive shape creeping slowly from the background. What is that sneaks on in the background? It was a southern sleeper shark. Scientific name Somniosus antarcticus. Estimated length 3 to 4 meters. Estimated weight several hundred kilograms. The shark drifted lazily past the camera and then disappeared into the darkness. It stayed in frame for only a few seconds. But those few seconds rewrote the history of Antarctic marine ecology. The southern sleeper shark is an enigma. It first entered the scientific record in 1913 during Sir Douglas Mawson's Antarctic expedition. A specimen had washed ashore near Macquarie Island, and someone sketched it. That sketch was all science had for decades. Since then, nearly everything known about this species has come from occasional bycatch records. The sleeper shark family lives up to its name. These animals move as though half asleep. Their metabolic rate is extremely low. They conserve energy with remarkable efficiency and can go long periods without eating. Their cousin, the Greenland shark, is estimated to live over 400 years. The southern sleeper shark is believed to reach 250 to 300 years. The individual caught on camera lacked claspers. The reproductive organs found on male sharks, suggesting it was female. Its primary diet consists of cephalopods, including giant squid and colossal squid. Stomach contents from other specimens have also revealed remains of marine mammals and seabirds, likely scavenged from whale carcasses that sank to the ocean floor, a phenomenon known as whale fall. Here is the twist: the depth where this shark was found. 490 meters is a peculiar zone in the Antarctic Ocean. Within the layered structure of Antarctic waters, This depth actually sits in a warmer corridor compared to the layers above and below. The shark appears to have used this warm passage to push deep into Antarctic territory. In other words, it may not be that sharks were absent from Antarctica. It may be that a livable layer existed all along, and we simply never looked there. The significance of this discovery goes far beyond a first sighting. The Antarctic marine ecosystem is one of the most tightly linked food webs on Earth. At its center is krill. These small crustaceans feed on phytoplankton. Penguins eat krill. Seals eat penguins and krill. Whales consume all of the above. Energy cycles through this system with remarkable efficiency. But what happens when a shark enters that equation? Dr. Rebecca Duncan, a polar marine ecologist at the University of Technology, Sydney, issued this warning: the increased presence of sharks in the Southern Ocean could have substantial impacts on energy transfer by putting pressure on Antarctic fish stocks, ultimately impacting krill and phytoplankton. Shifts of that nature would then impact availability of krill for whales, seals, and penguins, which redistributes biomass, changes nutrient recycling pathways, and ultimately reshapes the ecosystem. Duncan added that she wouldn't expect such large-scale restructuring to happen soon. There are likely more sharks already there than we realize, and if their populations increase with ocean warming, this would likely be gradual. But it's definitely something to keep a closer eye on. A few seconds of footage from a single shark. Yet the questions it raises could shake the entire Antarctic ecosystem. Now for the bigger picture. Peter Kine, a conservation biologist at Charles Darwin University, puts it this way: climate change and warming oceans could potentially be driving sharks to the southern hemisphere's colder waters. Antarctic sea ice extent has been shrinking rapidly in recent years. Ocean temperatures are rising, circulation patterns are shifting. The warmer the Southern Ocean gets, the easier it becomes for sharks to move in. But Kine also cautions that data on species range changes near Antarctica is extremely limited. The region is simply too remote. In truth, two interpretations of this discovery coexist. The first sharks are expanding into new territory because of climate change. The second sharks were always there, but we never had the tools or the timing to observe them. Alan Jamieson leans toward the second possibility. The Southern Ocean is still one of the least explored marine regions on the planet. We may not have found sharks not because they weren't there, but because we weren't looking. Very few research cameras are positioned at this specific depth in Antarctic waters. Their operational window is December through February. 3 months. For 75% of the year, the Antarctic deep sea goes completely unobserved. This footage was the product of one baited camera and a bit of serendipity. A few seconds of proof. But beyond the reach of that camera lens, beyond our lights, what else is out there? In 1913, a single sketch marked the first scientific record of the southern sleeper shark. 112 years later, in 2025, this shark finally revealed itself on camera, 490 meters beneath the Antarctic Ocean. A massive body, 3 to 4 meters long, gliding through water at 1.27 degrees Celsius, drifting through total darkness before vanishing once more. Scientists are now asking the questions that matter. Was this really the only shark down there? How far will climate change reshape this isolated ecosystem? How many secrets does Antarctica still hold beneath its surface? In the coldest ocean on Earth, at a depth beyond human reach, a single shadow appeared, and decades of certainty collapsed. Antarctica has many stories it hasn't told yet. In the next chapter, we'll open the next one.